Hello everyone. In today's video I have a interesting topic to talk to you guys about. It regards my GTX 980. And before I continue, let's talk about the exchange rate, because where I'm living in, we have the Malaysian ringgit as our currency. And if you compare that to the US dollar, every ringgit is worth around 1/4 of a dollar. So $1 is worth 4 Malaysian ringgits. So just keep that in mind. But it's not too important, because either way, you'll be able to tell what the difference is just by, even if the numbers don't mean anything to you, you will still get that one is higher than the other, and you'll see what I mean. So recently, I thought, hey, the 980 must have depreciated a lot. But the funny thing is that it seems like it's quite funny how it's depreciated, because if we take a look here, right, these are all of the GTX 980s on the market. Now there are some 980 Ti's, but that's because the GTX 980 is still part of this title, even though it's the 980 Ti. So when I type in 980, it also shows up as 980 Ti's also show up, so just keep that in mind. But if we take a look over here, as you can see, there's one right here. It goes for around 1,300 ringgits. This one is selling for 1,000, just 1,000, which is quite low actually, and obviously people are appreciating the low price, and I think it's going to sell sooner than the others. But as we take a look here, there's a general trend. This one's going for around 1,300. This one is going for around 1,300. This one is going for 1,300. This one is going for 1,300. And these are actually quite popular. I mean, quite people like these. They're being sold. This one is going for 2,000. That's ridiculous, honestly. I'm not too sure if this is a 980 or 980. This is a 980. That's quite ridiculous. Because 2,000 can get you a 1.5 of a GTX 1060, but I mean, you can't split 1060. So, but the point is that this is quite high. Now if we take a look at another site that sells, that you can list used cards on, is Muda, and as you can tell, again, it's selling for 1,300, and this is the only one available. So there's a general trend of around 1,300. Now if we take a look at cards that you can buy brand new, here is a cheap GTX 1050 Ti. This is selling for 705. This is not a good buy because it only has a 1-year warranty. I don't recommend it. I have a Zotac GTX 1050 Ti Mini, which has a 5-year manufacturer's warranty, which is 5 times this, so it's a lot better. Now let's take a look at the 1060. This is where things get interesting. This is a 6 gigabyte 1060, and if you take a look at benchmarks of the 1060 and the 980, they are neck and neck. They are very similar, very similar. I think that the 980 just slightly beats the 1060. But if you take a look at the price tag, the 1060 costs 1,300. This is where things get very interesting, because if this Zotac 1060 sells for 1,300 and this 980 sells for 1,300, well then that's pretty interesting, because you can practically upgrade from an old 980 to a new 1060, which is like a 980, for absolutely free. This is quite interesting, and I'm not too sure why this is happening, because I mean, when you think about it, the 1060 is a great card for mining, and I'd expect prices of the 1060 to be higher than they are, but they're not, and prices of the 980 are higher than they should be. So even if I were to sell this card for maybe, let's say, 1,200, 1,100, I wouldn't be very bummed out about it, because it's a good deal. You get to upgrade from a card that is not warranted, that is, older gen, not as efficient, for what? 200 bucks, 300 bucks. That's great. But I don't think I'd want to stop here. I would prefer to buy, let's say, 1070 or a 1080. Why? Because, you know, if for instance, if I were to buy with my 1300, or let's say 1400, right? Two 1050 Ti's. It's just a waste of space. I mean, if you have 4 slots in your computer for graphics cards, you want to buy the most powerful card you can afford. Now, I will be receiving some money soon. I think around $1,000. So I can probably afford a 1080 mini. And it has a 5-year warranty, which is great. Now this card, they don't specify the warranty, but I'm pretty sure I can find a similar card for 1,300, which is a pretty cheap price. I have to say, it's quite amazing. But this is actually quite rare. Keep that in mind. This is quite rare of a deal because the 1060s are kind of expensive, more expensive than they should be because of miners like me. But I mean, you can still find them for 1,300. So another choice would be a 1070. This one is already sold out. This one is actually available. But you see, this one is available for 2,000 ringgits, right? And this one is available for 2,400. So as you can see, the prices are quite scalable. They're still okay. But if you were to search up on this site, 1080 Ti's, it's quite difficult to find 1080s for a good price. It's actually very difficult to find any of these cards for a good price. Quite a lot of them are significantly overpriced. Now, as for which one I'm going to buy, let's take a look at the profitability of these cards. Now, keep in mind that right now cards are performing extraordinarily well. This is because profitability is quite high right now. Not as high as it once was, but it's quite high. But let's take a look at each of these cards. This is the 1050 Ti. I have one of these cards, and it's earning me around 271 ringgit. So you see, this card would earn me 228 ringgit, and it would have an ROI of 93 days. We can just consider the ROI as how long it's how long it takes for the card to pay itself off, which is a measure of how profitable the card is. And of course, I have inputted all of the different prices in each of these, calculator tabs. So this is the 1050 Ti. Its ROI is 93 days, which is good. The 1060's ROI is around 90 days, which is good. The 1070's ROI is 88 days, which is good. And the 1080's ROI is 93 days, so it is good. So all 4 cards are just as good in terms of profitability. So no matter which one I choose, I'll be making a great amount of profit. The only difference is if I buy a 1080, then I'm earning more profit per slot in my computer than if I would buy a 1050 Ti. Why? Because I'd have to have significantly more 1050 Ti's to make as much as a 1080 would. Now, you might be wondering, but then why did you buy the 1050 Ti? Well, because I wasn't planning on selling my 980. I just had 700 bucks on hand, so I decided to invest it. But now, seeing how much I can get for my 980, which is used, and I mean, it's in good condition. I've kept it in a very clean computer. I have 2 layers of dust filters, one being the grill, the second being, very high density filters. So it's in great condition. It performs just as well as it did, 3 years ago. So if I sell it, I'll have another 1,300 bucks to invest, and soon I'll be getting a payout of around 1,000 bucks. So instead of buying a 1050 Ti or buying a 1060 and then buying another 1050 Ti, I'll just wait for a little while and buy a 1080. which comes with a 5-year warranty. Who can complain? So let me know what you think. Should I wait and get a 1050, 1080? Should I just buy a 1060? Should I buy a 1070? Just let me know what you think, because or should I even sell my 90? Honestly, I have a bit of sentimental value for my 980. It's a great card. I like it. I like the way it looks. It's an old card, but I like it. I really do. I don't know why I have sentimental value for it. Maybe because I just owned it for 3 years and it just has a bit of history to it, in a way. I mean, I've there's not much history, but I don't know. I just kind of feel like I like it, even though it's not as good as the newer cards. So let me know what you think. I'd be happy to upgrade to the 10 series graphics cards. And I'd love to have a 5-year warranty. That's some security that I'm really happy to have. You know, if my 980 dies tomorrow, then that 1,300 bucks is just gone. So if I would get a 1080, well, then I have some security there. I have 5 years of security. That is like, what, 1/20th of your life if you're very lucky. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this short video, and I'm very keen to knowing what your opinion on this decision is, whether I should go ahead and make this decision or not, because as it seems to me, this is one hell of a deal to sell a card for 1,300 and buy pretty much the same card for pretty much the same price and get a 5-year warranty. That is quite a bargain. So let me know what you think. I am, happy to read your comments. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. This is a cool new update to my mining operation. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.